Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, esteemed guests, my fellow graduates and their friends and family, good afternoon everyone. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we are gathered today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I remember just over a year ago, one of my supervisors told me about the time she'd been nominated as valedictorian, and that meant giving a speech. I thought to myself, geez, what if that happens to me? But I was partway through my final year of studies, so I quickly filed that thought away under future me problems. It's safe to say that when I got a similar call a week and a half ago, I thought to myself, yup, should have seen that one coming. So I'd like to thank my head of school for nominating me to be your valedictorian. This afternoon marks the end of a journey for each of us. For many, the COVID-19 pandemic presented a unique challenge when it came to completing our studies. During lockdown, we hunched over laptops and we battled with Zoom. We endured studying with kids in the next room, pets who decided they were more important than our assessment, and when we finally returned to the classroom, we found things were not quite the same as when we had left. For me, my bachelor's degree was 4 years of dedication and holding true to myself. I graduated from a completely online high school when I was 19 years old, after I had dropped out before year 10. My mental health was at a place where I couldn't function, and it made navigating school impossible. My life and education came grinding to a halt. During that time, I struggled to keep myself grounded in the moment, and yet it seemed to be an even greater challenge to imagine a future when I was not entirely sure I could get through the next hour. When I had the tools I needed to manage my mental health, I was nearing the end of year 12 and just beginning to get a handle on things. Suddenly, I was faced with my future, whether I was ready or not, and I had some important choices to make. I had to decide where I wanted my education to take me. I'm sure my fellow graduates can relate when I say that I was asked, "So why did you choose this degree?" more times than I could count. I would always give the very plain answer of, it just felt right. It took me 4 years and some career counseling to understand that what I really meant was I was doing something that aligned with what I valued as a person. I knew that at the end of it, I would be able to do something that I was proud of, and I am very proud to be standing here today with all of you at the end of this journey. To come to the end of a degree takes a huge amount of commitment, and there is no doubt in my mind that you stuck it out because you saw what you valued reflected in what you were learning. Now we are all faced with the future, whether we are ready for it or not. You have an opportunity to take what you have learned out into the world with you, all of the values your education has strengthened, and share them. On behalf of all the graduates here today, I'd like to extend a big thank you to our families, friends, and UniSQ staff who supported us along the way. I honestly don't think we'd be here today without you. I'd like to personally thank my mum, who did crossword puzzles in the car by torchlight if it was nighttime, as she waited to pick me up from classes, who never asked for more than what I had the capacity to give at any moment, and whose constant support got me through the toughest moments. And my dad, who continues to show his pride in me and has never given me a reason to doubt how much he cares. My nan, who framed my childhood with laughter and games, and my papa, whose quiet, sturdy, and gentle nature showed me the kind of man I wanted to become. As you all strive towards your future and new goals, whether that be continuing your study like me, taking up a new profession, progressing in your own career with new skills, or whether you are taking a well-earned break, I want you to forget about what's ahead of you for just a moment and remember all that you have already overcome. Reflect on the late nights that turned into early morning study sessions, the hours spent in the library, the countless emails sent, the extensions, and the just before the deadline submissions, and all the work you put into finishing something worth being proud of. Take a breath, guys. You did it. We did it. Congratulations, and thank you for your time.